What is the trashiest thing you have ever witnessed? A group of people I used to work with went out bar hopping. The one closest to management level had to pee. She couldn't wait the 20 yards to the next bar. Found an unlocked car. Pulled up her miniskirt and peed in the passenger seat. I worked retail for a while. One day we had a lady bring in a bag of clothes to return. When she pulled them out and laid them on the counter, roaches scattered everywhere. She acted like nothing happened. I watched a family in front of me where the mom was struggling with 3 really ill-mannered children while trying to check out. Dad is just playing some BS game on his phone while she is overwhelmed and then asks for $20. While she finishes checking out, he immediately walks over to a scratch lotto ticket machine and blows all of it. Then comes back and asks for more before she has even realized what he did. I just instantly thought, that guy is trash. I don't know if it's trashy or just pathetic. But someone who caught her boyfriend abusing her kid threw him out, but then let him move back in with the kid because the cable was in his name. Quite literally trash. I work at a Target and I have to say, people will literally throw trash onto the ground because walking 100 feet to the nearest trash can is too inconvenient. I have found everything from fast food to masks to even used baby diapers. A public breakup outside Westfield Mall in White City. Hoo boy. It was so loud and bad that I asked my boyfriend at the time if we should call the police for help. For them. He didn't want to get involved. Knew a guy who bragged about doing coke while visiting Auschwitz. Like he talked about it like it was some badass accomplishment and would bring it up anytime someone talked about traveling. Woman in Walmart spraying herself with Lysol in her armpits and down the front of her pants. Then put the can back and drove off on her rascal. I was at the self-checkout at Home Depot buying a couple plants. Heard something hit the ground behind me. Sounded glassy. Turned around and looked down. Dude had dropped his meth pipe and it shattered. He continued checking out and left it there. My cousins and I went to a random girl's quince. A 15-year-old's birthday. And the girl's mom was so drunk. She was on the floor with her ass hanging out. Literally her pants were below her ass cheeks. Trying to be sexy. The poor girl was standing there with the face of embarrassment begging her to get up. Sad and trashy. 2014. First time in LA. Not from the US. And was walking through a back street back to the bus stop with my partner. Walked past a parked car and had 2 people in the front seats melting heroin in a spoon with their young daughter in the back seat. I was absolutely shocked to the point of speechlessness. I don't know if it's trashy or just sad, but it's what came to mind. I knew a guy who went to a state-funded methadone clinic and pretended to be a junkie so he could sell his take-home methadone doses for crack money. When I was about 12, my mom made me have a sleepover with her coworker's daughter. The coworker handed her 15-year-old son a cartoon of cigarettes and told him it better last him until next payday. I grew up around some shady shit, but even my parents would have beat the shit out of me if they caught me smoking, which I did eventually end up doing. Saw a fellow soldier sniff the seat of a female elt's bicycle seat once. Does that count? You know those drop-off bins where you can leave clothes and household items to be donated to homeless people? A girl I went to college with would throw her trash in those things just because she thought it was funny. There's literally a trash bin right next to it. But she threw her trash in the donations anyway. She would also talk about it with pride. As if it was the most hilarious prank of all time. I saw a pregnant woman shoot up with dirty Molly once. I'm not sure if that's actually fits the definition of trashy, but it's something. Man clipping his toenails on the bus. We were in the middle of fucking nowhere and the bus came only every 40 minutes, otherwise I would have gotten off. Went to a local demolition derby and witnessed a trashy couple pick each other's back pimples and then make out. I shouldn't be that surprised due to the event that I was attending. Girl getting spit roasted behind a club after her 19th birthday by two of her brother's friends. Morbidly obese woman in an oversized muumuu dress was browsing clothes at Belk's department store. She stops between two clothing racks, spreads her legs and drops a deuce. A large steaming pile. She then casually looks at clothes for a few more minutes and wanders out of the store. Friend of my roommate came over. Saw the computer duster bottle I use to legit clean my computers of dust, excitedly says, "You do this too?" and proceeds to huff a lungful of computer duster. Was not expecting that. My childhood friend grew up to be quite the mom. She got pregnant again, which was strange because there was no man in her life at the time, and she explained that her WIC was expiring. My exact words were, "You got pregnant for milk and eggs," and she said yeah. My mother's stepdaughter reported a labor and delivery nurse after she said that her smoking is what probably caused her son to be born premature. I just think the nurse was being honest and there's nothing wrong with that. Ada, I call her my mom's stepdaughter because I don't want to be associated with her and we don't get along. I saw a drunk 20-something pretty blonde chick once take a shit in a bush behind the Fresh Slice in Central City. Her friend tried to stop people from seeing, but she was drunk too, so she fell down on the shitter friend. That wasn't a great night for them, I think. Probably the old, "Let's change this shit-filled diaper on the restaurant table" move. Walking home late on a Saturday night in a town center. Turned a corner and there was a guy doing a girl doggy style over a wall while her friend was sat next to her puking all over herself. A woman driving for Uber Eats that would bring her two children with her to pick up food. She'd send them in barefoot and dirty while she waited in the car. I worked at a fine dining restaurant when this happened. I felt so bad for the kids. College-aged dude fucking a lady with Down syndrome behind a trash dump in broad daylight. Friend saw a different college-aged dude last time around banging the same lady in another sketchy place near the apartment complex. An old man at the mall leaning over the second-floor balcony cutting his nails. Everyone on the bottom floor must have enjoyed the nice nail-clipping shower. He then sat down, took his shoes off, and did his toes. I saw two people having sex near a warehouse and a third guy filming it. There was another guy there, but he kept looking around. When they saw me, I just laughed and kept walking. When I worked in retail, a woman would swing by the perfume section, spritz a couple times on her torso, then lift up her skirt and spritz her vag. Someone I bought weed from as a teenager. She was smoking a joint in the living room and her husband was sitting on another sofa. Toddler playing on the floor between them. Husband says, "Pass me the joint." This woman calls her 2-year-old over to her, hands him the joint and says, "Take it to daddy." I left and called social services straight away. Never spoke to them again, so IDK what happened. This girl farted in a teacher's coffee cup when he was out the room. I was walking out of the store once and saw a car driving, window down, so it was a woman, without a seatbelt, smoking, and breastfeeding her kid. Guy threw an ice cream tub with his metal spoon out on the street while driving. My neighbors across the street standing in their front yard yelling racial slurs at the Hispanic and black university students as they walked or drove down the street. Same house has a preteen boy that harassed the two Hispanic kids at the other end of the street so badly that the kids won't ride their bikes up this way anymore, or even use the little park on the corner. They also got a above-ground pool last year and put it right in their front yard. A coworker who dressed inappropriately after weight loss surgery. Pretty much lingerie one time. Too tight. Too short. Too revealing. She was wearing tights as leggings one day. She bent over and I saw the style and color of her underwear. This was a professional setting. She was structured out of her position during layoffs the next year as she was a major pain in the ass and pot stirrer. A Lincoln Town car with a wing on the back, and a sport badge taken from a Ford Fusion. Saw a dude drop his trousers, squat on a busy street corner in broad daylight, and emptied whatever he ate for lunch. Couple of cops standing next me pointed and laughed, but didn't do anything otherwise. Not sure who was trashier. A very drunk woman fighting with her boyfriend in a trashy bar walked over to the jukebox and played "Every Rose Has Its Thorn." I got up and left. A very pregnant woman chain smoking and drinking whiskey. She was wearing Daisy Dukes and a wife beater. Had a lady attempt to jerk me off in a crowded bar as I played pool. I saw meth head homes. Some of the most disgusting shit ever. One time at the metro station I saw a very young-looking, heavily pregnant woman drop her cigarette on the ground, then casually picking it up and continuing to smoke it. While visiting Florida, my girlfriend and I went to the local Walmart. On our way out we saw a hot pink party bus pull up and an entire wedding party exit. They then proceeded to have the wedding ceremony in front of the store. I once saw a woman in Walmart with 3 kids, one of which was only wearing a dress. In the middle of winter in Canada. No socks. No hat. Nothing. Just a dress. The other kids had winter clothes on. I felt so bad for the baby. I don't know if the woman wanted to show off the baby's dress or if she's just that negligent. The poor baby was clearly freezing. My sister later then informed me that it was one of her teachers on maternity leave. Girl at a McDonald's in Essex wearing see-through, skin-tight leggings with a thong. You could see her whole ass. Graphically. And let's just say it was not a shapely one. When I worked at a Target, a dude took a massive dump in the changing room. Dude gave 0 fucks. Woman from my school year with 4 kids. Obviously different fathers. Pregnant with a 5th. Smoking. And complaining the social services were on her backside. I wish those kids well.